Hello and good afternoon. So I hope that we are live now. If any one of you can double check for me, I would appreciate that, just to see that we are live on LinkedIn. Welcome to everyone. It's a joy to have you here, and especially as we start talking more about the subject of networking, of linking hands as friends. And we as a group stand as a testimony that entrepreneurs don't have to stand alone. We don't have to do it alone. There is a lot of resonance between us. In fact, I find that I have now more friends than I ever did when I was employed. When I worked in a big law firm, I had colleagues who did exactly the same job that I did, who fell in the same group, yet we couldn't actualize friendships at the level and depth that I have right now. And the three of you on a call with me are a perfect example of that. We became friends very easily, very quickly. There were no barriers. We didn't feel like we had to knock any walls or remove any shields. We appeared in front of each other as friends, and we opened our hearts, and we have discussed things from business to spirituality, everything in between, the whole spectrum. And we see how connected everything is. So we want to stand here as an example and as an invitation. If this is something that resonates with you, if you want to explore more how you can step out of that feeling, I am alone, I'm a lone wolf, that there is often this stigma attached to entrepreneurs, right? I can see you nodding, Vinod. That we are a lone wolf who has to deal with everything by ourselves. And whilst we may be making decisions for ourselves, for our business, for the best of for our vision, we still have a lot of resonance, and there is so much benefit in sharing that journey. Not to mention the possibility of co-creating things, right? So we know that feeling really well. And I would like to invite you now to explore with me and share how this feels for you. What can we say on this subject that can help someone become just that little bit more open-minded about this subject? Who would like to go first? And do you have anything to say about this, or is it just my feeling? Who wants to go first?
Come on, Ryan.
Ryan, you want Ryan to go first?
All right, cool. Yeah, I already had that in mind. So for me, entrepreneurship, as we know, well, like all of us on this call know, that sometimes it could be a very lonely place.
Mm-hmm.
However, however, I'm reminded that there is safety when you have counsel. There is safety when you have wisdom around you as well. So, for example, if I had a project that I was working on and I needed some advice, if I didn't have anybody around me, then it would feel like a frustration that I can't talk to anybody about it. But if I know that I could speak to Katerina, or I could speak to Angelica or to Vino about what my project is and where I see the vision going, then I'm safe in the knowledge that I'm not isolated, even though my business might be just me doing it.
Right.
But in my circle, I'm not isolated in that particular context. So for people listening, I would say that it's good to have yourself friends in your particular industry, but also the wider industry as well.
Beautiful. Beautiful. There is a point I want to make, because I don't want us to miss this point. But I want to give you a chance and see whether, because we often, I find when we share these things, that we have similar way of thinking, right? And oftentimes one of us would say what the other one is thinking. So I just want to give you a chance to speak before I share that point. But thank you for saying that, Ryan. And absolutely, we don't need to feel isolated, even though we may be the sole decision maker in our business. We still can have friends who we can rely on to give us counsel when needed. Angelica, did you want to add something?
I would like to say that people that are not entrepreneur, but they are thinking that they could be, need to help also others to understand what is really entrepreneur. And the basic thing is about relationship, because how many times do we receive, we starting new connection, and we do receive the same message from people that is just like a empty message. It could be written down so many words, but it's like without a soul. So, and it's very hard sometimes and tough to close the doors to those people. But the fact is that it's so important that when you are in a journey that you want to share something, a lesson with somebody else, it's like that you can classify yourself already as an entrepreneur. It doesn't matter if you are getting money or not. And it doesn't matter if you are doing full time or if you are doing 2 hours a week. The fact that is so commune to all of us, that we are together. And as I mentioned also in the video that we created, we are in the same path, a different stage, a different level, but we are in the same path and we are together. Absolutely. So not isolating.
I love that. I love that. So if I am understanding you right, it doesn't matter where we are in our entrepreneurial journey. So we may be just at the beginning, but it is valuable to us to build friendships with other entrepreneurs. You know, people who have been who are seasoned entrepreneurs. They can absolutely blend in with someone who is just thinking of becoming, just having that vision inside themselves, but they don't necessarily know what is can they trust their instinct with that first step that they feel they need to take. And there is a lot of advantage in talking to somebody who is already walking this path, rather than going for the counsel to someone who has never walked this path and who will never be brave to walk this path, because we know what walking this creative path in life means. It means making brave choices, standing up for our choice.
And last thing, because I want to give space to Rina to talk, is also that most of the time at the beginning, when we started a network marketing, for example, that we want to build a relationship with others. So we had like the extra help from the highest people. They send the same message to other people. And so I did also this mistake. I can say is normal, but the fact that you can get to the heart of the people if you really show who you are. So show yourself.
So the communication has to be personalized. We cannot rely on one message being broadcast to everybody and communicating with that one message. No matter how well worded, it has to be personalized for people to feel that we offer them our authentic energy. I feel that very strongly as well, Angelica, and that is what helps me make solid relationships that will last, because I'm not interested in building relationships that will be just for one transaction. That doesn't move me. That is not who I am as a leader, as an entrepreneur. That's not the way I'm thinking. I'm always building relationships for the future, for a long time. Vinod, how do you feel about this? Thank you, Angelica, for sharing.
Actually, entrepreneurship is like, you know, it's a privilege that not everyone has.
Yeah.
And being an entrepreneur is like, you know, main thing is to be free,
Mm-hmm.
whatever you do, whatever your lifestyle is.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So the main thing is being free. And then along with that privilege, we get, you know, those isolating kind of things, the negative thing. When there is positive, there is always some negative, whatever the work or whatever the thing is.
Right.
So
Something
it
to work
feels,
through.
yeah. Personally, if I say about my experience, it feels sometimes being kind of being isolated and lonely kind of feeling.
Mm-hmm.
But normally there is no feeling like that. But when we stuck in any work, and the problem is not solving easily, then only this feeling comes and grabs you like
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that is the thing. But for the same reason, we have created these type of groups,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
the LinkedIn is there, and the people are very
Yes.
supportive.
Yes.
So that,
LinkedIn
yeah,
community
that
is
helps.
great with that. Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, that helps.
Excellent. And we are doing our bit, aren't we?
Hmm.
In our community, even though it's small, but it's mighty in the in who
You
is
know what?
inside our community.
Sometimes, yeah, sometimes just a talk with any guy just
Mhm.
feels you light
Yes.
about the, the lonely kind of thing and all.
Yes.
Just a talk.
That's it. Sometimes it's just enough knowing that you are not alone, and sometimes actually, like what Ryan was saying, you can actually be a sounding board for somebody else. If you or like what Angelica was saying, if you have been there, you can actually help somebody who is just thinking about it, right?
Definitely.
So it has so many benefits, and we have only just scratched the surface. But I wanted to remind all of us that being isolated is a choice that we make. Are we accepting that this has to be an isolated journey? That we have to be alone, that we have to feel lonely, that we have to be standing alone against the world. That is absolutely a choice that we are making, right? And we always, in making that choice, we have the more empowering choice at hand. Yes? So I would like that to be the message of this talk. And again, this is just a just the beginning, just the first page of this lovely book we open, and we will always bring these kind of topics. We won't shy away from bringing big topics to this platform and changing the ways in which we think and accept our reality in favor of creating the more empowered living and impacting lives in a positive way everywhere we go. So, with one another and with people that we are called to serve as well. Thank you, dear friends. Thank you, all of you who are watching. If you have comments, please leave us your comment, your question. If you have a suggestion for this group, do write your suggestions. We appreciate your comments, we appreciate your views and your time. And if you want to join us, the link is there, right there in the description. We're called Anchored in Love, and that we are. We stand for unity and love. So enjoy your day, enjoy your weekend, and we will be back with you next Friday. Take care. Bye bye for now.